Module 1.6 How the Race Worked Out. Welcome to Module 1.6 of your Proform Professional Training course. In this sixth module, we look at the feature How the Race Worked Out in the form book. This feature allows you to quickly see how the form of a race has worked out, the comments in running for a race, and any entered horse or race notes without having to double-click into the full race details and use the Post Form tab. Turning this feature on and off. By default, this feature is turned off when you first run Proform. Here is how to turn this feature on and off. From the Options menu at the top, click on Preferences and then go to the Grids tab, and you can see these are the settings for the How the Race Worked Out pop-up options. You can have it so you can see the pop-up when you right click or when you right or left click. And you can also set whether you want to only look at the next time out for a race or the next time out and all subsequent runs. So we'll initially just set it to right or left clicks, and then we'll click OK. So we've seen how to turn the feature on and off. So here is how to use this feature. There is a lot of information within this feature. You can see how the race worked out on their next run and on all subsequent runs. Runners, winners, places to come out of the race, expected winners and AE index, and the top 5 winners, speed figures and official ratings to come out of that race. So we're now back in the form book with a race open from today, and we've already set the options for how the race works out to pop up on right or left clicks when you're looking at the horse's form. So if we were to click on the last run of Chucky Avon, the new screen pops up for how the race worked out. Now in this case, no runners have come out of this race so far, which is signified by the 0 runs, because it was quite a recent run. So if we go for the race which it won at Ayr, the screen then refreshes and we can see we now have some data. So at the moment this is looking at this race at Ayr and all the runners that have come out of that, what they have done since. So you can see there's been 27 runners, of which only one has come out and won, which is a strike rate of 3.7%. There's been 5 horses placed for a strike rate of 18.52% and 21 unplaced. This gives us an expected winners of 2.44. This is worked out from these 27 runners and their prices that they went on to run in the next race. And then the AE index is worked out from the actual number of winners divided by the expected number of winners to give us an index value that represents whether the race is worked out well or not. 1 would be the baseline figure, less than 1 and it hasn't worked out that well, greater than 1 and it's worked out better than expected. And you really want over 1.25 as an AE index for a good race and less than 0.75 for a bad race. This next section shows the top 5 winning speed figures and winning official ratings to come out of that race, and there's only been 1 winner, so we've only got 1 figure. And then below you can see the in-running comments for this particular race. And if we had any horse or race comments, they would be shown further down the screen, which you can either scroll down to or you can just size this screen. So let's take a look at a different horse. So Gap Princess, and if we have a look at this Catterick win, we select the race and the how the race worked out refreshes, and we can see there was 26 runners have run since and 4 have won, 6 placed and 16 unplaced. Expected winners is 3.04, so it's had slightly more expected winners, so we get an A index of 1.32, and these are the official ratings and speed figures that won those 4 races. And we can see from the form book that there are horse notes. So if we expand this screen, we'll see the horse notes displayed here. Now if we only want to look at horses that came out of this race on just their first run since, we can tick just next time out only. You'll see at the top it now says next time out, and the colour coding changes to fuchsia caption. There was 11 horses in that particular race, and 9 have run since, and just 1 of them won. But the expected winners were just slightly less than 1. So this race worked out just about as expected on the next time out runs. So if we take a few of the races, go back to this Ripon run. Next time out, 2 horses from 16 won for an AE index of 1.29, and if we untick the next time out only, we'll see how the total race worked out. There's been 20 winners from 165 runners, and every time we click on another line of form, the screen updates. Now it's currently set to stay on top. You could turn this off, so then when you're moving around the form book, the screen will disappear, but as soon as you click on a race, it pops back up again, and you can then set it back to stay on top so it'll stay there. Then you can size it to whichever size you want it to be on. If you have a second monitor, you can move it onto the second monitor so you can see it all the time. And what this saves you doing is double clicking into a race and having to look at the post form screen, which shows you all those horses that have run in that race since and all the various winners that have come out of it. So if we go back to the race we were looking at, and we'll select a couple more horses. So we have a look at the Kempton win back there. There's just two winners came out of that race from 51 runners, which is quite a poor race overall. Then you can go through and you will pop up and see quite good races that have worked out well, and it gives you another angle into your form study. Well, that's it for the Module 1.6 training session, and tomorrow 1.7 will become available to you. The ability to see how a race worked out with the click of a mouse can only help you when you are studying form in the form book.